CountyLine 25-ton log splitter, a 3-year review. Spoiler alert, I highly recommend this machine. Here's a couple pages of specifications. With the gas tank, it'll run for about over an hour easy. Maximum width of the logs doesn't really matter that much, I'd say. 490 pounds. It pulls really good with that weight. It's well balanced. It doesn't feel that heavy at all. And it's just manual start. The engine size is appropriate for this splitting force. The time is accurate. I believe in the manual it also says it's rated up to 50 miles an hour going down the road. And the warranty is quite good, I have to say. So far, I haven't had to use it. You can't get an optional log bed. I'd like to make one or buy one. It would be definitely helpful. I have not gotten it yet. So we're going to go ahead and pull this with my two-wheel drive Ranger out to the log pile so you can get a good idea how easy it pulls with really anything. Two-wheel drive truck, four-wheeler, lawn tractor if you need to. Even by hand it moves pretty good. So I think for the size and the weight, you're getting a lot of capability. You're not going to get probably in any sticky situations where you get this whatever back in the woods and you got to leave it behind because you can't get it back out or anything like that. Usually this log splitter usually starts actually on the first or second pull if the temperature is let's say 30 degrees or above. If you get down to 20s or 10s, you might need to pull it maybe a little extra. It doesn't actually get hard to start until I'd say down to 5 degrees to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you're going to have to keep pull starting it until you actually build a little bit of heat in the combustion chamber. And then it'll run for a little bit. And then it might stall. And then you might have a hard time getting it going. But eventually, it will go for sure. And I've only had to use starting fluid on it once. And I've only had to clean the carburetor on it once, and that was, of course, because I didn't drain it out over one extended period of time of it sitting. So that would be my fault. So I try to leave the motor in the configuration of ignition switch on, choke on, throttle full throttle, and gas valve off. So all I got to do is turn the gas valve on, pull the recoil, get it up against the compression stroke usually, and then give it a couple good pulls, and like I said, it'll go. Depending on the temperature, you'll need to leave the choke on full choke for a few seconds, and then half choke, let's say 30 seconds to a minute if it's very cold, and then from there just move it back to choke off. Now if it happens to stall, just go ahead and put it on full choke again, start it back up, let it rip. Now I just showed how easy it is to move from horizontal to vertical also. It's very easy going either direction. However, for demonstration purposes here, I'm going to cut some in vertical. Usually I do cut it, I should say split logs in horizontal, unless the log is a heavier log and definitely easier to use the vertical option. Right here, I'm going to get up close so you're going to see exactly what's going on. This is very effective at splitting pretty much just about anything. Quick note, in vertical, sometimes it will rattle a little bit, kind of annoying, but in horizontal, I never really heard it rattle at all, the machine. Now, I've only had a few things where this has stalled out on, and then even then it's still been able to power through it, so it was not like a complete stall. But 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time really, it just has no issue or little issue splitting anything. So for 25 tons compared to other machines that's out there, I'd say that's pretty adequate. From here, I'm going to show you basically the gist of splitting something larger diameter from vertical. Realistically, I never had anything be a trouble to split because of the diameter size. It's just more cumbersome, you could say. Usually something might be harder to split because it has a lot of branches coming off of it, a lot of knots or whatever. But so long as you get it under there, it's probably going to split. So I'm just going to give you a short demonstration of that. I jump ahead here and speed up a little bit just so you can get the general idea of what's going on and the difficulty or lack thereof of splitting a large diameter piece of wood. Quick note, I reduced the engine noise scenes by minus 20 decibels. Now with that being said, I don't think this engine is really too loud. It is slightly obnoxious. I don't know the exact decibel output. Probably should wear some hearing protection, but it's not horrible. Okay, here I'm putting the machine back from vertical to a horizontal position. And you can see here, it's really not that bad. We filled it up. Now let's drive it back. And in the following scene, I'm skipping ahead in time by probably about a year, and I'm going to be cutting in horizontal slab wood out of my truck. I do run the engine at full throttle. You know, I let the governor do its job. I let the RPM sit at the, you know, where it's been balanced at, basically where it's designed to run. Pretty much all small engine machines are designed to run full throttle while it's being used. So I do that. It takes me 3 pulls to start it because on the first 2 pulls I didn't realize I still had the ignition switch off. I try not to, like I said, I try to leave it in a certain configuration, but every once in a while, you know, we forget things. So we start it up so you can get a general idea. See, this is how I do most of my splitting, and probably most people, I would say, also. But you can also see how handy a log bed or log catcher would be under most circumstances. So I'm gonna be adding one to my machine maybe this year. So I don't see why not. It's just one of those things I never think about or always forget about until I, you know, go to use the log splitter. So it's definitely gonna get one added on. In the horizontal position, for this reason alone, it's definitely faster. You can stack your parts, or your wood pieces I should say, if they're smaller, especially slab wood size, thinner pieces. So you can turn 2 into 4 quickly, or 3 into 6, etc., etc. So it's very handy. Like I said, most people probably are using this position unless they are going to be splitting something very large. Then the vertical is a necessity unless you want to you know, pick up a heavy part up here, excuse me, heavy wood piece. For the rest of the video, I'm just going to show you some up close shots so you can see pieces of the machine a little bit better. But you know, this machine, I highly recommend it for the price. Never had really any single issue with it. Never even had a flat tire at this point. Here you can see the automatic control. Definitely, if this is in your price range and suits your needs, don't hesitate. Definitely buy this machine.